So this will be the last model that I review here, and what you'll notice is this is a pretty cute looking model. In terms of difficulty, there's some things that make it a good model because it has a lot of sort of random texture and colors, which is great. So that will be helpful. But there's also a lot here that's going to make it really difficult to reconstruct. There's all these, fine grassy beard and this thin cane that goes down. So there's a lot of little details that need to be photographed from many, many different angles. So this is actually, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say this is like an 8.5 or something like that in terms of difficulty. So let's look at the photographs. Well, you can see there's a whole ton of photographs here and very, very organized, right? So somebody was probably using a turntable, and it looks like there was maybe a tripod at work here as well. Just really, really good coverage here. So in terms of the quantity and the layout of the photographs, this is excellent. So this gets this gets pretty much a 9 or 10 out of 10 for me. Really well done. Some care was taken here. The photographs themselves, if you have a look, so somebody placed a background here, very well lit, diffuse lighting, not a lot of shadows or anything like that. So that's really, really well. The lighting is excellent. The organization is well done. You can see they took the time to create a stand to put this particular model on, and so really well done with the photograph. So somebody took some time and some care here. So let's take a look at the what we've got here in terms of the camera. So it's a good camera. It's a Nikon up here. If you look at Nikon D850, that's great. And what we have is where am I looking for? There we go. So exposure time is 1/80th of a second. So definitely, well, you could get away by holding it, but I would say hold it with a tripod, or use a tripod. That's better. And the f number is 13. That would have been better if it was a little bit higher. But again, because the shots are from a little bit further back, depth of field may not actually come into play. The ISO speed rating, 640, that could have been lowered. So going down to like 100, 200, yes, it means more time. And sometimes that's the balancing act. So if you have a really low ISO and a very high F number, sometimes you're dealing with multiple second exposures. And so time, for some people might be a factor. So, but perfectly suitable for this particular model. Let's get in close and look at the mesh. So I'm going to do that like this. All right, so if you look at this mesh here, you see how nice and smooth this is here. Look at the wood back here, right? Not bad. We're bringing out starting to bring out a little bit of the texture. It's not being simplified. All the areas around here have been reconstructed, even up inside here, right? So you got this all reconstructed well. The clothing looks really nice. Not a lot of, bad artifacts and that sort of thing. And this is very difficult. So the beard and the little strands, those become very difficult to reconstruct many, many times. So you'll see that all the time. Very thin, hairy like substances are tough. So, but the mesh looks quite good, considering the difficulty of this particular model. And then, of course, the texture, because the images were taken so well, the texture quality is quite good. So the overall score on this particular one is about a 9 out of 10. I think, very, very little to be improved here. There's not a lot of room. Sometimes you're just faced with some difficulties, but getting in a little bit closer, I think there could have been some shots done nice and close up, especially on the parts that didn't reconstruct well, like the fine threads or grassy beard, kind of things like that. You might be able to get a little bit more detail out of by getting in closer.